Hey everyone, and welcome to Laser Source, the #1 laser engraving podcast. Whether you're just getting into lasers or you're trying to level up and grow your laser business that exists already, we're going to cover all of the latest tips and tricks, new techniques, new technologies, and more, as well as getting the perspective and experience from other laser engraving professionals through interviews and hangout sessions. So if you are interested at all in laser engraving, regardless of your skill level, this is exactly the place you want to be. Every single week, we cover new topics and perspectives to make sure that you have a well-rounded understanding of what's going on in the laser world. So sit back, relax, and get ready to learn, because we're going to cover a bunch of new stuff, and we're getting started right now.
Goodbye.
Hey guys, what's going on? Hey guys, what's going on? It's Alex over at Laser Everything, and this is the Laser Source podcast. It's the best podcast if you're looking to grow and scale your laser business, or if you're looking to just get into lasers. And if you are looking to just get into lasers, today is going to be an awesome episode for you, because we're covering the top 5 tips you need to know before you purchase a laser from China. We're talking about importing here. It doesn't matter if you're in like Australia or the UK or the United States or you know, wherever you are. If you are importing a laser, that's your game plan. You're not buying something domestic, but you want to import a laser. We're going to cover the top 5 tips, the top 5 things you absolutely need to know. And then, of course, you're going to get a ton of experience from our other hosts here as well, who are, I'm sure, going to sprinkle awesome nuggets of information in around this topic as well, because that's what they do and that's why they're here. So joining me today, speaking of these awesome people, I've got Tony. What's up, Tony?
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
Gio's here. What's going on, Gio?
How's it going?
We got Patrick.
Good morning. How's everybody doing?
And apparently Tacky is here.
Hey.
It's just completely missing the bonus content, but he's here for the core episode, so that's awesome. What's up, Tacky? How you doing, man?
Struggling this morning, but I'm here for everybody.
It's okay.
I am glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it. So I've already kind of written out some of these tips. You guys, I'm gonna just kind of run through them, and then if you guys have input on them, we'll go through them one by one. I'd love to hear your input on any of these. And then at the end, if you have your own tips, you'd like to throw in a couple bonus tips, we can cover those at the end as well. So my first tip, and I don't know if this is something that you guys experienced when you were looking for your lasers, check the store contents. This is the first tip. You're on AliExpress or Alibaba or wherever you're looking. You really should be on AliExpress, but that's a conversation for a different time. And you look at like a laser store and you're like, oh man, like this laser looks really nice, and you're checking it out, and you click on their store, and then they're selling like sex dolls and like bubble gum and like packing tape. Have you ever seen a store like that on AliExpress where it's just like selling a bunch of random stuff?
I've never seen sex dolls on AliExpress.
I haven't looked hard.
I never look for those things.
Me either.
Alex.
You don't have to look for them to find them on AliExpress.
I haven't seen that.
Now, if we're talking about Wish, that stuff jumps out and finds me.
It's kind of like Wish. My #1 tip to people, man, buy lasers from a laser store. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that though. If you're looking, most of them have the same stock footage of your split system laser. And if you look and see what else they're selling, what their seller ratings are, you get a better idea of, are they a drop shipper? Do they have just an open listing, or do they actually have and manufacture what they are selling? And that's what you want.
Right. Yep. You can usually, I mean, even when you just scroll down in like the listing for the laser itself, you can see pictures of them, like they're in there, like putting it together, and there's a bunch of employees standing in front of their building waving, and like they're very proud of that kind of stuff. If that stuff is omitted, you should be concerned. Like that's something that you should be worried about. So don't buy from the drop shippers. Don't buy from the resellers. Buy from, if you're going through all the work already to buy from China and import your machine, buy it from the people making the darn machine. That's what I would say. So that's the first tip. Second tip, I would say you want to buy, and this kind of ties into the first one, from a seller that's offering you at least a 1-year warranty. If you don't get a warranty on that machine, or it's something super short like 3 or 6 months, you should be concerned and you should be looking somewhere else for your laser. I say at least a 1-year manufacturer warranty against defects would be like the bare minimum in order to consider making a purchase. What do you guys think about that?
Especially if you're looking at a fiber, there's so little that can go wrong with the fiber. I've at least 1 year on a fiber.
I messaged my seller just asking how would they handle a warranty claim, what troubleshooting, what type of shipping charges or non-charges would I face given a potential issue, and they're very forthcoming. So that was somewhat comforting.
That's really important, is who's going to pay for the shipping, right? When I have to mail this back to get it repaired, or when you have to mail me a replacement part, you know what I mean? Who's going to pay for the shipping on that? And tariffs and whatever other problems you could potentially run into in that situation. So making sure that is clear, I think, is definitely really important. Tip number 3, which, again, great segue, guys. We're killing it right now. Thank you, Patrick. Communicate with the seller. That's tip number 3. Talk to these people. This isn't Amazon. It's not meant to click a listing and then like add it to your cart and buy. But that's not what you should be doing. If you're looking for a listing that allows you to just add it to the cart and just buy it, like that's, I feel like that's the wrong mindset to go into this with. You should be messaging these guys, talking to them about which laser source they're going to be using in your system, talking about which lens is going to ship with your system. You should be clarifying which plug, like are you getting a US or like a European plug, or like what kind of voltage is it? Is it going to be 110 or 220? A lot of times these details aren't covered in that listing. That listing's just saying, hey, we make fiber lasers, and you have to come to them with those specs and details and say, this is what I'd like you to build me. And you have to make sure that those parts are what's in the machine. You can request photos while they're manufacturing it. The good companies will make them to order, so they won't just have a row of them already built. They'll actually build your machine when you order it. And you should be getting like pictures. So just talk to them. Again, like Patrick was saying, who's going to handle returns or shipping if something goes wrong? What is your warranty? They will talk to you. There might be a little bit of a language barrier, right? Because it's Chinese to English, but they have people that are good enough that you can get through a conversation with them. At least, most of the medium to larger size companies making these lasers do. And you should talk to them. So I don't know. Did you guys have conversations with your manufacturers? Or
yes. Yeah. So when I bought, when you do through like Alibaba or AliExpress, you can request a contract. They actually send you a contract, and it'll outline everything in that contract, like shipping, what are you using, and they have to abide by that, because if not, you can go through Alibaba and get your money back and all that stuff. So they're pretty good at putting everything in a piece of paper, and they'll show you like, okay, this is what you're getting, this is the import tax, like everything is broken down. That's when every time I get anything, even if I just get coins, they put on there, 20 brass, and this is the diameter and the shipping. So you get a sheet, you get a contract. Once you say yes, you check that, then they continue with the process, because you can get your money back. So just make sure it's in that contract. That's easy as that. I think they call it like MOQ or something like that, or MQO. I forgot what the acronym is. So
what experiences did you guys have? Did you just point and click, or?
I had a great guy named Alex from Laser Everything that made a recommendation for me. And based on that, I kind of honed in on a very specific specification of fiber laser. I said, okay, I'm not going to get the 20. I'm gonna get the 50, or the 30 or the 50 at least. And from there, I started looking around that spec from different companies. So I know that everybody makes a different amount of money, and so your time is worth X amount of money, right? Well, my time is invaluable to me. But at the same time, if I just go and buy something that's worth, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, I'm going to spend a couple dozen hours researching that to make sure that, I'm not getting a piece of crap or losing out. So for me, getting recommendations is a start, and then I'm researching, I'm contacting people. So I think for mine, I probably spent 2 weeks before I finally pulled the trigger and I felt comfortable spending that amount of money.
So you bought from Mactron. Did you talk to anybody at Mactron before you bought the machine?
Yes. I talked to CloudRay, and they got back to me, but they didn't have any answers that I liked regarding JPT source for the spec. And then I talked to Mactron, and I think there was 2 other stores, and I didn't get a response back from either of them. So when I talked to Mactron, I asked them, one, can you reduce the tariffs on the invoice? Because that's a big one. And I asked them about the JPT power source. They said they could upgrade free of charge, which, by the way, if you look at it today, right now, for that same laser, there is a point where they say that JPT source is an additional $500 now. They no longer replace that for free.
Oh.
So if you guys are looking,
they are more expensive. So it's probably because they had to start paying me for affiliate links again.
Right. Yes. If you need Rakis or JPT, please contact me in advance. The Rakis is the same price. The JPT should extra add $500. So might have just snuck in there a little bit under that. But they've been great. I have done, it might be a little ahead on your tips, but my post receiving the laser contact with them has been good. I've had quite a few questions with them. Within 24 hours, I've heard back from them and gotten decent responses and support.
Good. Did Patrick or Gio, did you guys have conversations with your manufacturers before you purchased your machine? See, Patrick's holding something up.
Yeah, this is the spec sheet for my laser source. So,
nice.
Describe it for the listeners.
Yeah. So it's a JPT spec sheet for the laser source, and my seller said that this model or this exact laser would be going in the unit that I purchased if I purchased it right then. So sure enough, It showed up, and it was the exact same model.
In that contract, yep.
Yeah, I spoke with my the company I bought mine from. I probably should have listened to them a little bit more. I thought I knew what I wanted, and they probably had a better idea of what I wanted. But yeah, I think definitely research what you want. Like Taki said, use the Discord, use the Alex's channel, and kind of get an idea of what you want to look for. Then talk to the sellers and make sure that they're giving you answers that either elaborate further or kind of direct you in a different way for a specific reason that jives with everything else that you've been learning. If they're trying to sell you a 20 watt with a 300 millimeter lens because that marks better, you might know better. Just because you've learned, I would immediately stop talking to them.
And if you, I would say too, if you are in this part of your laser journey, right, and you do come across a seller that's trying to tell you something that goes against everything you've heard so far, bring it up to the Discord. That's one of the awesome reasons to be in this community, and you've got all of these people at your disposal who have already gone through this. So if you're not already part of the Discord, there's a link in the description, whether you're watching this on YouTube or you're listening, in podcast format. There's a link to the Discord in the description, and it's people are there waiting and ready to help you out with this, and they will extinguish the myths and kind of clear up the truths while you're having these conversations. You can post direct quotes that these manufacturers are kind of making, the claims that they're making, and you've got a fact-checking community ready to go. Take advantage of that, because that's invaluable during this process. So if you hear something and you're like, that doesn't sound quite right, or I don't really know what they're trying to tell me here, drop it in the Discord, because we can help you out and maybe stop you from stepping on a landmine, before it's too late. So
operators are standing by. Don't let the money burn a hole in your pocket. Don't. Just wait. Right. Well, sit on it. Sleep on it.
Luckily, Discord doesn't cost anything, so that that's one less problem for you to have. So you just have to worry about the laser. Yeah, definitely sleep on it. Give it one more day. Take the extra day to ask a question. It, tomorrow will come and you will still get a laser. Take the extra day. Get the right answers. The next thing, Tacky, I think, mentioned just in a heartbeat, but prepare for tariffs. They're coming for you. All of you.
Yep.
All of you will pay tariffs
taxes
on your machines. All of you. Be ready.
Yes.
I tell everybody 30%. People ask me all the time, well, how much am I going to pay? I'm like, at least 30%. I feel like you can't go wrong it might be less. It might
depends
be a
on
little bit
how
more.
it depends on how they put the import paperwork, but technically a laser is 30% tariff
In the U.S.
in the U.S. Yes.
And I think that's because it's medical equipment, correct? Doesn't it fall under medical equipment for lasering?
Falls under FDA.
It falls under medical FDA controlled. Yeah, because it's
really
it hurts.
That's news.
It's because it's a radiation source. It's controlled by the FDA because it's considered a medical treatment.
So great, I'm gonna die soon.
Source.
Right.
It's not that kind of radiation.
No.
Oh,
yes, you will die, but hopefully not today.
Sooner.
Not that kind of radiation.
It's not like radioisotopes. You are exciting molecules. Sorry, this is where the little GIF comes up with the science,
the numbers,
symbols, and the numbers. But as long as you keep your hand out of the beam, or keep yourself protected from getting direct exposure to the beam, you're fine. It's the beam that's dangerous.
Yeah,
and even then, it's not like carrying around plutonium.
This is a good side note.
Damn.
So femtosecond lasers are screwing everything up for us. Anyway,
are you good now, Tony?
Yeah.
You feel a little better, bud?
Yeah, I think Gio. I think Gio feels better. I feel like Gio really needed to get that off his chest.
Yeah.
Gio's like, I don't talk about
That's
this.
Like
I'm going to explode.
It's like people saying, "Oh, I'm going to get radiation from microwave." No, it's radiant heat. It's not radiation. It's two different things.
Well, I'm still waiting for Gio's YouTube channel. It should be called Laser Everything but Factual.
Seriously.
I'm ready for that. I'll be like,
every episode is going to be 10 more misconceptions about lasers. 10 more. We got 10 more of them today.
Yeah.
You never run out of content. I'm scared of
the Laser Everything Snopes.
3 corrections on things Alex said during live streams from last week. Brought to you by Gino. No, you'll never
would not do that to you.
I would want you to. I would legitimately want you to do it. I will even send people. I'll be like, if you're confused and want to get the actual facts on things that you've learned on today's episode, click here. Click on this card to head over to Gio's channel where he pinpoints the exact things I'm wrong about and clarifies on why they're incorrect and gives you actual answers. I would do that. I would totally do that. I have no self-respect. I would do that in an instant.
I would do the same thing too, man.
Tip number 4. Are we content with what we've said on tariffs? I guess the only other thing I would mention is if they're willing to adjust the sticker value for you, you can go low, but don't go too low.
Too low. I was just about to say that.
If you go too low, customs is going to get suspicious, and it's going to hold up your delivery time, and they might reject the package and send it back, or just take it, because they do that. They'll just take it. So don't go too low. I think
so the company will put whatever value you tell them to on that, because they have your money. They got their money for shipping. If you say it's 99 cents, they're happy to do that. But in my case, Mactron, I requested an amount. I think it was 1,000, and they're like, DHL or our shipping company recommends doing a minimum of this amount, and I forget what it was, but it wasn't quite $1,500 or $2,000. And I said, yeah, whatever you guys think. You guys deal with this a lot, and I had no issues in customs. They didn't even open my crate, so it went right through in like a day.
They didn't open mine either back when I ordered mine from Mactron. It went right through. And we did 1,500 the first time, and now I'm literally dealing with getting the CO2 Galvo here now, and that is. I think I'm having them mark that one 15 as well, but that's a $7,000 machine. So I think a rule of thumb would be like a fifth to an eighth of the cost of the actual device would probably be good for a value.
Just don't put $30.
Just don't be ridiculous, and you'll probably be fine.
Understand that tariffs are part of the purchasing process, and you need to include extra money for that just in case something happens. And the government wants their money. You got to give it to them, or they will come looking for it.
You pay them when you import the laser, or you pay them when you buy from a reseller. So just pay them.
Yes.
Just pay them when you import them, because the reseller paid them to get them into the country. So you're just going to pay for it then. Either you're not saving money by not paying it. It still costs the same amount.
And when Alex says resellers, we're talking about stuff that's already in the United States. If you see something like from OM Tech that's a fiber laser, it's a little more expensive, but it's because they have already imported it. It's sitting in the United States right now.
Yeah. And that brings
wherever
me
you're at.
To the last big tip that you need to know before you import a fiber laser into the country, and that's avoid the reseller trap. Whether foreign or domestic, don't buy from resellers. This is an opinion, I think, more than a fact, but man, it's just not worth it, because not only are you still paying the tariff when you buy from the reseller, you're paying market. They're marking it up, like sometimes thousands of dollars. Sometimes you're paying $10,000 for what should have been a $5,000 machine after you pay what they've added onto the sticker price for the tariff, and then they're like their fee so that they can like make business and get paid, because they have to get paid too. Yeah. You're just paying somebody to do a little bit of research for you and pay the customs bill, and that doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, you're also paying for them to warehouse it, to have it local, to ship it within the United States versus waiting for it to ship from overseas.
Sometimes some people like paying for convenience.
It only takes a week or two to get here, and they built it fresh for you, and then you're not picking from a preset list of things. You can get the exact machine you want for less money if you just take a little effort and a little energy to put into researching and communicating with the manufacturer. You can buy it directly from them, spec'd out exactly the way you want it. And
remember that it's a little scary too.
It's very scary, but
something out of the country, China. They're like, I'd rather buy from the U.S. with somebody I can talk to. So that's
but
a
you're
selling
still getting
point
the same
for some
thing,
people.
and that's the other thing is that they're not going to talk to you. The resellers don't want to talk to you. They want to take your money and offload the machine that they just bought from China. They don't want to provide support. These companies, unless you're buying a $50,000, I get a little ranty on this topic, but unless you're buying a $50,000 machine from Epilogue, support isn't part of the deal, whether they tell you it is or not. Because Epilogue is charging you $50,000 because they know you're going to call every 2 months with questions for the next 5 years. The resellers aren't doing
advocate, that. We got to talk about why someone would want a reseller versus buying it direct.
That's
Remember,
fine.
You're not going to get the warranty. If you look at the terms of the contract from the purchase price from the manufacturer, so if you're buying it from the manufacturer, that by the time you get it, it might have sat in a warehouse for a couple of months. So you're not going to get the manufacturer's warranty off reselling unless they have their own, which that's going to be a case-by-case basis.
That was my dilemma when buying one. It was like, should I buy one that's already in the States, or should I just get one from China? And it's really not that slow. Everybody thinks like, when I was looking for one, I was like, I'm going to avoid China. But I look at Amazon and it's like, but they got this, it looks the same thing as if I was just buying it from Alibaba. And it really doesn't take that much longer. Everybody thinks like, oh my God, it's going to be 2 months. Not really. They're not going to, the thing is not going to sit on a ship for 2 months and make its way to the States. They like to pack them and just, if a ship's leaving tomorrow,
that's why they're so expensive. Air freight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, yeah, they're all air freight.
Whatever they can cram, it's going. If it's the next day, it'll leave. It's just the timing, but it's really not that like slow as everybody thinks. Because I thought anytime you buy from China, expect it 3 months, 2 months. No, not really. Unless something happens, it's kind of quick, to be honest with you.
They built the CO2 Galvo from scratch. They started 8 days ago, and they just messaged me this morning and told me it was done. And if that machine isn't here by Friday, I would be concerned. Like that's how fast they're coming, because they put them, Gio and Tacky said it, air freight. It's going on a plane. It's not going on a boat, man. They're throwing that sucker on a plane, and it's coming off that plane, and it's going on a DHL truck, and it's coming here.
Yeah,
and so
they maximize their time.
Since we're talking about shipping right now, that's probably something we should cover too, is the journey that your laser is going to make and any issues. Did you guys have any shipping issues, or did everything show up like it should? Like the perfect
Gio's
story?
I think Gio has a story.
I'm very interested in what Gio has to say. I can see it in his eyes.
You guys go ahead.
Oh, I had no issues. My thing came in. And
me too. I have a perfect wood crate. Looked very pretty.
Mine went through, I think, 2 different countries besides China, which was kind of fun. And then when I got it, the crate was smashed on the outside, but there was no damage inside whatsoever. So I had a little, a quick aneurysm, and then everything worked. So I was like, okay, cool. I think 10 days door to door or factory to door.
Fiber was rolled up like the Michelin Man, wasn't it? Inside the crate with like the
I filled the trash can full of that crap. Yeah,
but it did its job.
Yep.
Yeah, mine was packaged pretty good. I made the mistake of the company I worked for had a contract with a large shipping company, and we did a lot of imports from overseas. So I decided, okay, I'm going to use that because we got some discounted rates, and we had our shipping brokerage all taken care of. So we had no issues getting stuff back and forth, and we were doing some small prototype stuff, but also some manufacturing runs. So I was like, all right, this should be great. My recommendation is use the shipping company that your laser company is used to using, because it just ended up being chaos. My laser was lost for 4 months.
My God!
And it was actually found by my. And this is part of the importance of talking with the manufacturer that you're going to buy from. I got a phone call from him from China. I got a phone call of him telling me to go check my email that he found my laser on eBay. And what had happened is somehow or another, the shipping company lost it, could not find it. Mind you, I've been talking with them for 4 months, trying to get them to track this package. Which is not a small package. If any of you are not familiar, it's like a 36-inch by 18-inch by 27-inch crate, and that weighs, I think, north of 100 pounds.
Yeah, anyway, it's not small.
It's not small. It had my name written on the side of the machine, or on the side of the box. So how they lost it, I have no idea. I even sent them pictures of.
If it ended up on eBay, was it not stolen and put on eBay? Like, that's what that sounds like.
So you'll run into you'll see this. There's a guy that does car videos. His name's Rob Dahm, and he talks about his Mazda 4-rotor motor that got lost, and he accuses UPS of stealing it. What happened is they get misplaced, they lose the labeling because they're labeled improperly, or someone just has their head somewhere it doesn't belong, and they can't find the package. It sits in a warehouse for up to 4 months, and then they deem it as unclaimed property. They then sell it to a wholesaler who then, in this case, it was in Utah. This company wholesales stuff from UPS or other shipping companies, but they actually buy it from the shipping company, and legitimately, because it's unclaimed, the shipping company writes it off and gets whatever value that they get from the wholesaler. The wholesaler turns around and tries to sell it for a profit online. Mm-hmm. And that's where mine showed up. It got sent to one of those wholesalers.
So, I mean, What? So if the wholesaler has paid for it and you've paid for it, who gets the laser? Like, how did that work out?
So I was reporting to the shipping company saying, "Hey, this is on eBay. This is my machine. Look, this." It was basically the same image at the exact same angle, just they had redacted my name off the side of the box and part of the serial number off the side of the box.
Yeah.
So I was like, look, this is my machine. You need to get that back right now. And they were kind of taking their time. So I actually contacted the local police department in that where that reseller was, because they had it listed, and I reported as stolen goods. It ended up, they investigated, and this is where communication with your manufacturer is really good. I had serial numbers for my power source. I had like Patrick showed the source spec sheet. I had that, so I could say, open that box. It has this serial number on it. On the outside of the machine, you have this serial number. This is all my proof, and I showed him all the pictures that I had received. And the detective initially thought I was out of my mind because I was calling from another state and reporting it as stolen.
Yeah.
And then they realized that I was not joking, and they got it all sorted out. Within 24 hours, I had the machine at my door.
Oh my God.
Wow.
But
what a crazy story, dude. That's intense.
It was wild.
And you blame this on forcing the manufacturer to use a shipping service other than what they were going to use by default?
No, I blame the shipping company, but if they've used a company and had really good results, I would say stick with what they have used and they're comfortable with. It was another slight issue. I was trying to get them to claim the insurance on the package, and because the shipper or the manufacturer had written the value of the machine in the wrong spot, they were not going to issue the insurance. They were going to give me $100 for my package, which is slightly short of $7,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, by a little bit. Yeah.
So when it finally got to your door, it was fine? It was just
it had been unwrapped by the wholesale company because they had opened it up, but it had it looked like the crate had been dropped. So like the feed of the base had actually popped through the bottom of the crate, and then the top of the crate had been smashed into the tower. So there's wood jammed into the threaded hole for the handwheel to go on.
That's a rough draw, man. That's a rough draw.
Oh yeah. And then I had one screw, the screw that holds the sight laser, or the secondary focus laser, had broken. So I had to extract that with a screw extractor and then put a new one in. But I mean, other than that, everything's been fine. I haven't had any other issues with it. I've had
other than it being thrown off of the 3rd-story balcony of my apartment building, it was fine.
Yeah.
We're all good now. Gio, so I paid like $780 US for shipping. Were your cost savings worth the hassle of saving a little bit on the shipping?
No, not at all.
Okay, checking in.
Not at all.
No,
not
at all.
By that time, I was just so upset with myself as I opted for the more expensive MOPA source, and the sellers trying to get me to get the Q switch. It's like, no, you want a Q switch? No one uses a MOPA, and I was like, no, I really want the color. Yeah. And then I spent all this extra money, so I didn't have any more to go get another laser. It was lost. It was a headache. Yeah, it should have been a fast shipping, and it wasn't.
What a
just so we're not confusing anyone, we're not saying, don't try to save money. There are areas where you can save money, like when we're talking about between resellers and buying direct, but you're also you want that cushion of protection for your purchase. Buying through legitimate means. Don't. I've heard some horror stories of people doing like bank transfers for this, which I understand it's a lot of money, but they're doing like you're going to Western Union and you're sending it to someone in Zimbabwe, and it's like whoa, that's also a flag. So make sure that if something happens, your money is protected. You don't lose it in case that disappears or shows up on eBay. I mean, luckily
I have a hard rule. I have a hard rule, dude. You pay with a credit card. Apply for an Amex. You know what I mean? Like pay with a credit card. They usually will take Amex. They'll usually take Discover and MasterCard and Visa. And just get a credit card, even for this purchase, if it's not something you normally do, and pay with a credit card, because the credit card company has much more financial means to go after this and make sure you get what you paid for than you do, and they won't stand for you not getting your stuff, because it's their money on the line, not yours. If you buy something like this with a debit card and you don't get it, the bank's going to say, that sucks, man, have a nice day. And and
it's your money.
Yep. And don't buy it with a credit card. Don't wire transfer. Don't mail checks. That's asinine. It's 2021. Don't mail anybody a check. It's got your routing and your bank account number on it. Like, what are you doing? Don't mail a check, and don't pay with a debit card. Obviously don't mail them cash. Just use the credit card. If your seller doesn't want to take a credit card from you, there's something wrong. They should take a credit card. Period. How do you feel about, I don't care what country they're in. These are worldwide networks.
Crypto.
How do you feel about PayPal?
Don't accept a discount.
PayPal is a credit card. PayPal counts. PayPal will not accept that you haven't received your goods. PayPal is very good. I would still probably use a credit card through PayPal to double up on that. Like, why not? Or use PayPal credit. If you use a debit card with PayPal, I think PayPal will still fight for you to a point, but they will be far less motivated. But there's still a little bit of protection there. If you're absolutely going to use a debit card, use a debit card through PayPal. But that said, I would still probably use a credit card if you can, if that's an option for you. And PayPal credit PayPal credit is very easy credit to get. It's not the cheapest credit to get, but it's easy to get. And if you already have the money for this laser, you can just use the PayPal credit and then pay it off. But make it somebody else's money, make it somebody else's risk. And then when you have these problems, you boom, like they're going to be on it because they're not getting robbed. Yeah. PayPal's not getting robbed today. Visa's not getting robbed today. They're not interested in that. So, use a credit card, man. I forgot what we were talking about, but that just triggered me. I had nom PTSD.
No, we're just talking about protections. Yeah. Any protections you can get, not going cheap. They're going to be expensive. Understand how much you're spending.
Yeah. Going through like Alibaba or AliExpress, they have like the trade assurance. Use it.
Yep. Use it.
Don't try and go around and go directly to the manufacturer. Use the Alibaba listing.
They're really good about that too.
And if you guys are listening to this and you haven't made a purchase and you're still considering it, and there's some questions that are still coming up, check us out in the Discord. Ask questions. It's not just us. We've all bought these lasers, some of us a few times. Check out the Discord. See the processes that they've went through. Ask questions because we're not going to cover them all here today.
Yeah. And just don't forget the golden rule. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. Right. If you want a 50 watt JPT that does 1 to 600 kilohertz, and it comes with a split system and 3 lenses, and you don't want to pay Mactron or Cloud-Ray or whoever the heck $4,500, $5,000 because Free Laser Blaster 76 is selling them for $1,200. Like, you're gonna get screwed. Like, that's just not how it works. Like, laser sources cost what they cost. They only come from 3 places: Max, JPT, and Rakis. We're not talking about IPG because this is a Chinese laser discussion. They only come from 3 places, and their prices are set. It's the biggest expense in the entire machine. It costs what it costs. If you want a JPT, you have to pay for a JPT. There's no magical place where one seller can go and get it cheaper than the others. They're all buying them. They're all buying them from JPT, and they all cost the same exact amount of money, and it's 2/3 of the cost of your machine. So if you find a machine and it's more than $1,000 cheaper, and that's a stretch, then what you're seeing as a general pattern for everything else, there's something wrong. You're either not, there's not what they're saying inside the box, or they're cutting some other dangerous corner that is going to result in you getting like a subpar machine or something that doesn't work correctly or something that breaks down the road. There's a million billion things that can go wrong. And that's what we all sit up and we're stressed and we're worried about importing, Chinese lasers. If you pay for what you're asking for, there's no reason to stress. You're going to get what you're asking for because you paid for it. They're happy to build that for you. It's when you pay $2,000 less because you're like, this is a purchase from China and it should be the cheapest thing in the entire world. That's when you should be up, sweating, nervous, wondering what you're going to get, wondering if it's going to make it to you okay. I'm like dramatizing a little bit, but I feel like it's important. Like you're going to get what you pay for. So just pay for it. It's already, if we look at, what were you saying that Galvo from in the bonus content, we were talking about Epilog lasers, Geo, and you said that Epilog's Galvo fiber laser cost,
it's like $65,000 or $70,000 is the retail on it.
$70,000 for the American made Galvo fiber laser, and that was a 30 watt.
30 or 50, I think, is the two options they have.
Not that it's relevant. 30 or 50 watts for $70,000. Okay, you're spending you're spending a tenth. And that's really expensive from China. Spend the seventh. Who cares, dude? Like, just like, I don't know. It's just that, like, it blows my mind. It's like, we're so privileged to be able to buy these machines. Like, stop trying to shave off. Like, I get that they're expensive machines and starting a business is expensive, but like, you're already saving 90%. I feel like that's like what a lot of people don't realize. Like, you've already cut 90% off immediately just by going the import route. You're doing it. Congratulations. You're winning. Like, just take the win, man. I don't know.
Start with that.
Don't cause your own problems. I don't know.
Right.
I'm sorry. I get passionate about this. It seems so clear to me now, and I want to share that clarity with people who make, they can't see it yet, and it's sometimes you have to kind of botch it to learn, and I don't want you guys to botch it. I want you guys to kill it your first try and have no problems and not be able to talk about this subject because you're like, well, I don't know. It showed up and everything was fine. That's what I want for you. So
come for the tips, stay for the passion. The laser
stay
source.
for the passion. That's right. Come for the tips, stay for the passion. That's it, guys. Do you have any other last second tips you want to drop on these people so that I stop yelling at them? Because I'm pretty sure that they don't like that. So
okay, Dad.
Does anybody else want to sprinkle something in before we wrap up 5 top tips you need to know before purchasing a laser?
This is
China?
all for China lasers. So it doesn't matter if we talked about fiber a lot because that's what we all have. It's the same thing for the CO2 tanks, the CO2 Galvo, UV. If you guys are getting a UV, all these same tips are going to apply for purchasing from these places, Alibaba, AliExpress. I don't know of any other marketplaces that I would recommend trying to find these. You can try, I got mine from Amazon, my tank, CO2 tank, but I got that direct from the manufacturer after they imported it in. So I knew what I was getting into.
Yep. I think for the CO2 tanks, it's a little more forgivable to get them from like eBay, only because there's far less variance in what you're getting. There's a big difference between a 20 watt max with like Sino Galvo head and like a 50 watt JPT with like a Panasonic Galvo head. Like that's a really big spread, but like the red and black Ruida is just like the red. That's what it is. Like they're all the same.
Metal box.
Yep.
Yeah, with a couple. I don't. And you can get them from like Boss, I guess, right? Or AP Laser, and it's the same general thing, but like a little bit nicer. That's a different podcast episode, but for the most part, Taggy's absolutely right. These tips apply to everything. So, just shop smart, be safe, ask questions. I don't think we can say that enough. You guys have access to like the most amazing Discord community for this stuff in the entire world. It's incredibly active and filled with really, really smart people. And that's just, take advantage of that. But I guess that's it. I guess that's all we got for today. It was really nice catching up with everybody. We're going to try to get a new guest on next week. I didn't plan very far in advance this week, so I've had a bunch of stuff going on. I've had a crazy week. But next week we'll have a new guest on, and we'll chat with them about what they're doing to grow their laser business. I hope you found this episode helpful. If you did, if you're getting value out of it, don't forget to subscribe wherever you're listening to this, even if it's YouTube, and hit the like button if you're on YouTube. Also, if you're on the Apple iTunes store, rate and review the podcast. It really helps us reach more people. So if you're enjoying the podcast, leave us a review, because that really, really helps as well. If you want to support the show going forward, you can find out all about how to do that at patreon.com/lasereverything. Not only does that support the podcast, it supports the YouTube channel, it supports the Discord community. All these pieces that kind of like keep this community together are all supported directly by the Patreon. So again, that's patreon.com/lasereverything. And we covered the Discord. I think that's it, right? I didn't miss anything. Tony, if people want to find out what you're doing, you got a home away from home yet, or are you still just floating on the Discord?
I'm floating on the Discord, but soon to come etchedideas.com. Not yet, but it's going there. But if you can find me on the Discord, and on the YouTube channel, at Laser Everything.
Perfect. And Gio, where can people find what you're working on?
Mostly on Discord right now. I am starting a new, channel. That'd be Maker Theory, MAKR, because with the E was taken, but that'll be my new new home. Hopefully,
that's
soon.
amazing. And you're absolutely going to get new episodes of that on the Laser Everything Discord, so that will be like tied up with those automatic Me6 updates. So just keep an eye on the Discord, because as soon as Gio starts producing episodes, you guys are going to know about it. So definitely keep an eye there. Patrick, you've got a bunch of stuff going on. Where can people find out what you're working on?
3-22firearms.com is the main website, and then you can also search 3-22 firearms, and that'll bring up our Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all that good stuff.
I've been seeing you've been getting kind of stupid with those 3D stuff. You've been really trying to get after that. I've been watching some of the videos you've been posting on. Yeah, he's doing some cool stuff over there. So definitely go check out.
He's not playing around.
Patrick's not doing like fully like produced. They're not like, it's not like YouTube TV, like snobby YouTube TV, but he has really cool. That's what I do. I do snobby YouTube. He has some really cool videos exercising the 3D capabilities of his 2D laser. So if you want to see that kind of stuff, definitely go check out what he's doing over there. And last but not least, Tacky, so glad you could come today, buddy. I was really worried about you this morning. I'm so glad you're here. Where can these people follow up and make sure you're okay and that you haven't like fallen off a cliff or died?
Well, I guess if I've fallen off a cliff or died, they can contact my wife. But for regular laser-related stuff, I'm on Instagram at Polygon Printing. Have a YouTube channel with no content yet. And then we'll be having a website, Polygon-Printing will be my domain. A lot of fires go on at once right now, so it'll be a while to flesh it out, but keep prodding me and we'll keep getting some content out there.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna bother you every week. I'm gonna make you all four of you answer the same question over and over.
I
know,
be honest.
man.
We have a better answer. Well, that's
it takes
all
a while
good.
To flesh it out.
Yeah, it sure does. It's a lot of really hard work, and if you're listening, you probably already know that. Good luck, guys. Good luck finding your first laser. Ask if you have questions, and just take that step and pick it up, because I don't think you're going to regret it. If you would like a little guidance and you don't necessarily want to do this all on your own, lasereverything.net is our website. It's got a full 2021 buying guide with all of like the accessories and just like shop stuff that you need. And then it's also got our laser page. So it's lasereverything.net/lasers. And you can see all of the lasers we use here on the shop and in the show with our number one favorite manufacturer, Mactron. I'm a big fanboy. They just have great support and really great lasers. So check them out. They're right there. Nobody's paying me to say that. They're just there with some affiliate links for you to poke at and add to maybe like your checklist while you're looking for a laser. And finally, we have the podcast tab is up now, so you can find out more about me with links to everybody that is helping me host this amazing show, and their projects are there as well. So lasereverything.net, and that's it, guys. That's all we've got. I've been droning on, and we gotta go. We've got lots of other stuff to do. I've got to go engrave that gold. So thank you guys so much for listening, watching, or whatever the heck else you're doing, and we will see you in the next one.
Later. All right, let me do a backflip now.